Do you want to be ahead of the game for the latest in arts, music, cuisine, and entertainment across the Middle East's most dynamic capital cities? Al Monitor is proud to launch our City Pulse newsletters, focused exclusively on local news, starting in Riyadh, Dubai, Istanbul, and Doha. Each week, our on-the-ground writers in these cities cover the latest cultural happenings and trends, so you have everything you need to know for the best local experiences. To subscribe for free, go to almonitor.com, that's al-monitor.com, and sign up on our newsletter page.
Welcome back to Al Monitor's flagship podcast on the Middle East. My name is Amberin Zaman, and today I'll be discussing the conflict in Sudan. The war pits the Sudanese Armed Forces, or SAF, that is led by General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, against the Rapid Support Forces, or RSF paramilitary group, led by his former ally Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo. Dagalo, better known as Hemeti, is supported mainly by the United Arab Emirates. Burhan's chief backer is Egypt. Tensions between the sides escalated sharply in 2023, triggering a humanitarian crisis of catastrophic proportions. More than 14.5 million people have been displaced and tens of thousands have died in combat. The number of civilian deaths remains unknown, but is also counted in the thousands, with many succumbing to hunger and disease. Both sides are accused of war crimes, including rape and ethnic cleansing. Hopes of a breakthrough emerged last month when Egypt, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and the United States presented a proposal to end the war. The plan calls for a 3-month humanitarian truce, followed by a permanent ceasefire and the establishment of a transitional government. It's starting to look doomed, as the RSF gains ground in the critical region of Fasher, to which it has laid siege for more than 500 days. The UN is raising the alarm amid fears of further atrocities, similar to those committed during an RSF offensive on a nearby refugee camp, where tribal women and girls fell victim to sexual abuse. My guest today is Sudanese feminist researcher Weam Fadul, who offers a different perspective of a conflict that too often is viewed through the lens of geopolitics. Welcome to our program, Weam. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me and giving me this space.
So, Weam, could you give us a short rundown of the current situation? We understand that the Rapid Support Forces now seem to be on the verge of taking this very critical area, Fasher. What does that mean going forward for the conflict and for people of the country in general?
Okay, first of all, we need to make it clear it's not a civil war. It's a proxy war. This siege up to 2 years, up to 600 days now. And people, before 1 month, they start to eat the animal food. And that animal food also, it's ended and causing people being killed again because it's toxic. And now the RSF building a wall around all Al-Fasher to prevent people even to escape this horror time. And they banding also to all the UN organization, try to send the humanitarian aid. They banding that. Before 2 days, they release a video. RSF soldier, he says, even the normal food will never get inside their fashion. And he took all the grocery and things and he put it just on the ground. Like when we saw what happened now in Gaza, it's become more, maybe the similar, but with Al-Fasher now it's for 2 years. We're not even allowed just to drop them some food. With a lot of diseases happen, the cholera, the dengue fever, and like everything you can imagine, it's happened there.
So the situation in Al-Fasher is now critical. The RSF is weaponizing food. and hoping that, people will just succumb because they're starving. But where does that leave the armed forces and its allies? What are they doing? What is their situation? Can they defend this city, hold it for much longer, given these circumstances?
Really, really, I don't know for how long. But for me, I think because they now it's more personal. It's a liberation fight. But no, I'm trying to be realistic, and I think this situation it should be solution by the Fasher people and all those parties, the militia, the SAF. Because also, if you can see the videos of women who crying, we lost all our family, all our children dying in our hands. This is ridiculous. It's just really ridiculous. And in the same time, you need to beg. You need to beg people, okay, just have an eyes on this. Just have an eyes on this. Sometimes just we need people to know those black people, those poor people, they have lives. They are not just numbers like we think. They are not just in forgotten cities, like forgetting countries like Sudan. We know, and that all that darkness happens in the world. But no, how we can imagine 500, 600 days people without food. Every morning when I just try to eat a piece of fruit, I think, okay, did I deserve this? And we have up to 5,000 human beings inside Al Fasher with no food, just the animal food. And now even that it's finished.
And the aid agencies don't have any access, obviously.
The RSF banding them. There was like a negotiation between SAF and another countries, I think the UN, the USA, and this is stuff. But no, United Arab Emirates refused. And RSF, they said clearly, even if you send a humanitarian aid with airplane, we're gonna attack that planes because Turkey want to help with that, but they say no.
There are so many players in this conflict with weapons flowing from different countries, with some arming both sides. The RSF appears to be gaining the upper hand, though, and in August swore in its own de facto government. A lot of its weapons seem to flow through Libya.
Yeah, it's United Arab Emirates. It's United Arab Emirates who funding this militia. I know they've been funded, the post part, the RSF and the SAF, being supported by another places, by another countries. I think the begin half of this year, 2025, we figured out it's up to 25 countries being involved in this war. But
So
the
who is
United Arab
supporting
Emirates,
the SAF, the SAF, as you call them?
the
Who
SAF, SAF, it's Egypt, it's Saudi Arabia, because that the security about the Red Sea. Turkey, we know that.
We have to remind the audience that the United Arab Emirates strongly denies any involvement in this conflict, but as you say, there's been compelling evidence.
Like I'm asking myself why there's a Colombian, an Ukrainian soldier inside Al Fasher. Why? Why? We never been to Colombia before. Before 2 days, I saw a picture from inside airplane for like Colombian soldiers, and those people traveling from Somaliland airports to Al Fasher. This is crazy.
And these are people who are being brought in by the RSF.
Yes, yes.
So, Weam, if El Fasher capitulates, caves, and the RSF takes over, this, of course, positions them to be able to then move on to the capital, to Khartoum. What does this actually mean for Sudan?
Just today, the RSF attacked on Al Fasher and 16 civilians being killed. Just today, before a week, it was attacking the mosque, and they attacked the hospital. I think he was the last doctor who stayed in Al Fasher being killed before 3 days also. And they attacked the hospitals. Al Saudi hospitals also been attacked.
So basically, you're saying if RSF wins in Al Fasher, it's going to be a disaster. There's going to be more ethnic cleansing of non-Arab Sudanese people, tribal people. And I mean, what kind of reaction do you then expect from the international community? I mean, won't there be any attempt to reconcile the sides? And do you actually believe that the RSF can prevail, can win? Because Sudan is a huge country. And as you yourself pointed out, there are more than 25 countries involved who are supporting, the various sides. And obviously the people who, or the nations rather, siding with this SAF, are they going to just give up so easily? Because there are these
No.
strategic considerations, the Red Sea, as you mentioned.
Yes, I think we will be amazed how this war will gonna end, but I don't think it will end easily. It will take years, years. It will be back and forth. Till one of the our I'm trying to find the word because when the international community make a lot of meeting and about Sudan and they invite United Arab Emirates, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and Sudan has not been invited, this is a new colonialism for me. And this is clearly, it's a new colonialism because we are not being able to have a decision at the
You
same
call it
time.
a new
I,
colonialism.
yes, yes, it's for sure for me. It's not just a civil war. This is ridiculous. No, it's not a civil war. It's a new colonialism. And like just today, I read an article about how much pieces we miss from our museum, National Museum, and we know where it's go. We know it's going. It's been taken to United Arab Emirates, like what happened in Yemen before years ago. You taking us from our roots, you taking us, you taking our history, you taking everything. And in the same time, when you spread that propaganda about the Islamic brother, because they want to getting back, yes, of sure they want to getting back. We know they want to be back and taking control, but that doesn't mean we will accept to be under occupation from United Arab Emirates, even if we have to deal with a Muslim brother. We can deal with them like we deal with them for the past 30 years because end of the day, they are also Sudanese. We can deal with this, but being under under colonialism or occupation from United Arab Emirates because they wanna saving us from Muslim brother, no, no, but they will be back. The Muslim brother, they will be back. We know that. We know that. But I know we can fight the Muslim brother regime because this will be our war, but not with involving a proxy war and new colonialism.
Today's transformation of the Middle East is at the center of global geopolitics. Whether you're an analyst, diplomat, executive, or academic, you need the best reporting and analysis to understand what's really happening on the ground and what it means for the world. Al Monitor is the award-winning independent leader in Middle East news. From Riyadh to Beirut, Abu Dhabi to Doha, and Baghdad to Tehran, our team of over 100 expert journalists report daily on the top stories driving the regional trends. Download our mobile app and subscribe to Al Monitor to follow what leaders and decision makers are reading every day. Go to almonitor.com, that's AL-MONITOR.com, and use promo code POD25, POD25 for a discount.
So the last time we met, dear Weam, you were very bitter about the lack of media attention to Sudan. But it has to be said that since then, there have been more media reports. I was just reading something in The Guardian. Anne Applebaum had a really very powerful piece in The New Yorker. We saw the New York Times go in. So clearly, it was also due to the fact that people couldn't physically access Sudan. And now that seems a bit easier through Port Sudan. Is that right? And that's allowing journalists to go in and, you know.
Yeah, for foreign journalists, yes, it's easy for them to get access, not the Sudanese journalists. They've been kidnapped, killed, jailed. No, there is no. It's so hard to find a voice of journalism from Sudan. But for the foreigners, it's become more easier for them to get inside Sudan.
Well, that's a very positive development, right?
We are not in a place we need to teach the world we are resilient. No, we are tired. We are fed up. We are alone. We are so, so, so angry. And when social media and the public media talk about Sudan, even with the English one does, like in Sudan, we don't speak English. This is just for the elite people. Okay, it's okay. But the ground, the grassroots grassroots people, the people on the ground, they know they are alone.
One thing you
But
were complaining very bitterly about also was the fact of the media focusing so much on the more sensationalist aspects of this um, conflict, particularly sexual violence against women. Can
yes,
you speak about that a bit and how it makes, life even harder for the victims?
yes, social media love trendy, and sexual violence is trendy. Like the media agent can ask a journalist with just $200 for the journalist, and please bring a sexual violence victim and talk about her experience on TV. Even if they hidden her face, change the voice, we know who is this woman. The community will know her. And this media agent will never ask the circumstances about after this interview. This is so sensitive in Sudan. And we document like three girls in the first in 2023, two girls or three girls killed themselves because they found themselves exposed on social media. Because we need to be noted, the RSF, when they rape, they document that with a video and they publish it. They publish it with no shame
But
on
we also
social
hear
media.
that the SAF commits abuses. Can you talk about that a bit?
Yes, yes, and it's happened to not for not. يعني I remember in Khartoum when we have access to document this one because also we don't have the access. When you want to work in documentation or you find a cases about violation, especially from the south, this is so dangerous now in Sudan. You've been executed with a lot of things like you have been against the system. You can take on the court. They can give you like 10 years in jail because you talk about this stuff. We cannot talk about this stuff. We are not able to find this, and this is another way to raise the experience, to raise the life, to raise the violation happen because this is happening from South. But no, South soldier rape, South soldier killed, South soldier kidnapping. They do all of that, but because they know the people inside, they become so afraid even to talk about this because they say, and this is so sad. Yeah, the RSF, Alhamdulillah, thank God they didn't rapist us. Okay, what happened with Saf? No, 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 don't ask this question. Nothing happened. And you can see the fear on their eyes. We will never know easily.
So
And this is
people are
another
too
power.
scared to talk about what's happening to them
Yes,
in the
yes,
government-controlled areas where there are
yes,
violations, or also in the areas that the government is moving against the RSF, especially. There must be
yes.
obviously more
The
violations.
Sudanese people, the only one in this equation who lost their life, lost even the voice, lost the memory by force. But the SAF and RSF, for me, it will not be something surprise if they will sit and agree again. But in that time, we will lost everything, everything. We already
And in the
lost.
meantime, you believe that the Muslim Brotherhood will also make some kind of a comeback. Um,
Yes, sure,
but
they already there.
and they're working
But like,
with the SAF, or
no, they don't need that even because they stay in every place in the country. And and يعني, imagine if you just have two choices and we cannot call it's a choice. Either this military system with Muslim brother, the Kizan, because Muslim brother, when we say Muslim brother, that connect with the Egypt and other places in Sudan, we call them Kizan. And those Kizan, if they are still there, or accept the RSF. We will not accept the RSF, but we know they already coming back. We know.
well, it's very peculiar for a foreign audience to try and make sense of all of this, because we know that the Sisi regime is fiercely opposed to the Muslim Brotherhood. So to hear you say that they support the Muslim Brotherhood in Sudan is a bit confusing, obviously.
Yeah, because that will not say it in public.
Yeah,
It will
well,
not say it in public because the Muslim brother inside the army. But I hope, and this is so aflanotic, yani it's like it's an idea of dreaming to have a country with Muslim brother out of the south, and we have just normal army who protect the people, the nation, not protect the Muslim brother or protect the communists or protect another ideological political case. No, we need to find that a national army, united army, protect the nation and being accountable for everything they did. Not just one day when this war ending, when the South take control and we say, okay, I forgive you. I forgive you about what happened. Everything you did, I forgive you because you take off the RSF. No, no. Because if you are not being accountable, you will come back with more violation.
absolutely. Well, on that note, Weam, I know you're super busy and you have another appointment that you need to be at. So I will very reluctantly let you go. It's been wonderful talking to you and obviously very painful as
Thank
well.
you. Thank you for this platform and this space. I'm sorry for my anger, but not sorry.
No, no, don't worry. It's yeah. Thank you for being so open and honest with us.
Thank you.
And this brings us to the end of this week's episode of On the Middle East. For more on the Sudan conflict, please visit our website www.al-monitor.com. Thank you and goodbye.